Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to my studio. I'm Vlad Duchev, and today's episode is about how to mix greens. As you know, I ask your help and we did a poll. What you would like to see more educational stuff or more entertainment stuff? And to my surprise, 100% of those people who participated chose educational. So I listened and I created a schedule, and we're gonna stick to that schedule. We're gonna still doing some entertainment stuff like plein air competitions, but we're gonna get from those competitions for more educational stuff for our channels. All right. So today's episode is about how to mix greens. All right, how to mix greens, because the greens are essential for plein air artists, especially if you paint outside and you paint greens, because painting outside usually involves some greens. So today I'm going to show you how I mix the greens and what colors I use and the variety I can get from it. All right, so let's get started. Here we go! All right, so greens, how to mix greens. You take blues and take yellows, mix them together, and you get different shades of greens. So what I have right here, I have on my left side, I have all the blues, and then on the top I have all the yellows. This is not all the yellows that I normally use, and these are not the all blues that I normally use. I have much more. I have probably twice more, but it all depends on where I'm painting. The shades of colors. If I'm going south, if I'm going north, the greens are different. Okay, Tennessee's greens are different. You have to keep in mind the greens are different from locations to locations. These are not only yellows I use, and these are not only blues I use. But if I need to add additional color to my palette, what I normally do, and what I normally educate my students to do, is a lot of charts. All right, so for example, this is the blues I was working. I was adding some blues to my palette, and I did a lot of, this is some of my charts. I did charts for blues to find out which blues works for me before I add it to my palette. For example, this is a greens. What colors can I, if this is a tube, or if I found some color and I want to add it to my palette, I will study it. What shades of greens or whatever color I can pull from this tube. Will it satisfy me or not? So if it's satisfied, then I'm gonna add it to my palette. If it's not, I'll just toss it away or put it in my one of my baskets. I have a one box or basket with all the colors that I kind of or maybe I can use it later on. But how I know what this color can do for me, I do the charts and I look at the chart, color charts, and I just what, this color is working for me or this color is not working for me. All right, so do a lot of charts color charts before you add any tubes of color to your palette. This is basically my spiel. All right, so if I got one color, I'm going to add actually orange here, and also I'm going to do how to do it with blues and yellows, and then I'm going to teach you, or I'm going to show you, not teach you, I'm going to show you or share with you how actually I'm using yellows and black to get my greens. And lately I'm finding that I'm using yellow and black more often because I really like the greens out of it. All right, so as I said, we have raw sienna, and I'll put it in description. Raw sienna, this is Vasari Adobe or Adobe, yellow ochre light by Blick. I like this color. Permanent yellow by Holbein, yellow lemon, and permanent orange. This is from on the yellow side. On the blue side, ultramarine blue, UV, cobalt blue, phthalo blue, just to show you the different shades, King's Blue by Vasari. This is Service Blue by Williamsburg, and then Cerulean, and then Mars Black. This is Mars Black. All right, so I'm going to use those, this sheet just to, when I mix, just to save it as, as a study. All right, so let's start. Let's see what we can pull from UB and raw sienna. So I'm going to mix below here. So let me take a little bit of this and the raw sienna. And also you can sometimes, just to see the shade, if it's not really showing perfectly. So you can add white and just add just a bit of white just to see where you're going. Alright, so this is dark, like olive green, very dark. Alright, so let's take the same ultramarine and then we'll move to Adobe. And you can see it's more vibrant. That's a completely different green. And then if you want to make it darker, you just put, add a little bit more or blue, or if you want it lighter, for example, I want to inline this more. So I'm shifting more toward yellow. And this way I will get by adding a little bit more on the yellow side. Alright, so let's keep going. So I can take ultramarine and yellow ochre. This will give us like really true olive color. And then once again, if you want to make it lighter, just add a little bit more of and it's going toward more lighter green. Alright, so let's take a little bit more blue, ultramarine blue, and add this color. And this is yellow ochre light. And you have to take a little bit more. And a little bit more. And you can see this green. And if I need more yellowish or more greenish or light greenish. And what I like in this, like ochre side, all the greens are really not like saturated greens, and I really like using those greens. All right, so moving to traditional green. So this is traditional green. It was permanent yellow. And if I need to add, I need to squeeze it more. I need to make it lighter. Let's make it even more lighter. Oops. We just contaminated the yellow. So this is more lighter. last one is not the last one. This will give you really saturated hue of, look at that. And if you add even a little bit more, this is the green that is with lemon yellow. And the last one is going to be orange. This will give you saturated olive or like water. I use this color a lot in waters. Look at that. Oh, love this color. And if you need more, but what I normally do, I add orange with blue, ultramarine blue. And then I will add a little bit of permanent, just to change the hue, just a little bit. Make it more like water. And you can always add white and see where you're going with this. So this is... Alright, so this is ultramarine. As you can see, how many shades you can get from ultramarine. Alright, so let me repeat the same thing with ultramarine and raw sienna. And this will give you really dark but warm color right here. Then with Adobe, and same thing with yellow ochre. The same thing with permanent yellow. And I'm enlightening a little bit, I'm putting a little bit more on the yellow side, so you can see. Actually, I think I skipped this one. Okay, so this is permanent yellow. Oops. That's the yellow ochre light. The yellow ochre light is something that I use a lot because I like the pale green that I'm getting out of it. So I'll do it this way. And of course, yellow ochre and lemon will give you very, very saturated green, which I'm rarely using it because it's just too much hue. And of course, the orange and the yellow ochre, and ultramarine blue, I'm using this a lot because this is giving me the color of the water that I need a lot. And then normally what I do, I will add a little bit of permanent and lemon to it, just to invite it. And this is the completely different shade. Alright, so let's move to, I'm sorry, my air conditioning just started in studio and it's making a lot of unnecessary noise. Alright, so let's go to cobalt. So you take cobalt, let me mix it right here. Cobalt, blue, and raw sienna. This will give you a kind of brownish color. I never like this color. So it's right here. And it's dark green, warm color. Okay, so we keep going with adobe. This will give us a little nice pale color, and some of these colors will be cross-drafted. So you can see a lot of difference between, ultramarine and cobalt. All right, so now next one is yellow ochre. And you can see those colors, like if you want to mix, green, you don't necessarily have to use just these two yellows. I normally use this just to make sure my greens are more muted than like screaming. Okay, cobalt and yellow ochre light. So I can drop a little bit more of this. So, more of cobalt. Okay, so this is the greens that you'll get from mixing those. Cobalt for greens I really don't like, so I use it rarely. Okay, this is traditional cobalt and yellow. I'm using permanent yellow. This is traditional mix of green. A lot of students are mixing this. And this is very, very greenish, so I personally don't like that. Okay, then lemon. This will give us a really vibrant green. You can see it. And then cobalt and orange. Okay, it's like a brownish. Actually, it's a brownish, but it has some cast of green. Okay, next one is sallow blue. Ooh, that's a killer. So if you do this, you need a lot. You can see they are in the same families, but I like this green more than this two. Alright, so keep going. Adobe. Now keep in mind, sallow blue will give you really saturated. Look at that. Very saturated blue. I mean green. Very saturated green. Especially if you go with yellow ochre. And I'm using Williamsburg yellow ochre. This is interesting green. I would use this definitely. And then we'll keep going. Pick two files. And take yellow ochre light. This is yellow ochre light. light, you can see, very permanent. Ooh, that will be killer. That's a killer. All right, and then orange. I like this color. And of course, solid blue and lemon. That will be, I don't know what you can paint with this color. Look at that. Whew. All right, so let's move to King's Blue. King's Blue and Raw Sienna. I think I dropped too much of King's Blue. Some colors are more saturated, some colors are. So if you can see, King's Blue and Raw Sienna will give you gray right here. So if you add white, you will see that pretty good gray color that's falling onto warm. So cannot use. Let's see, we can use King's Blue. No, I know this because that's what I'm mixing constantly, and I know that will be. Alright, so this is something you can use for like background greens. Okay, so let's get going below here. And we're using yellow ochre. This gives us kind of cast, greenish cast, but it's more on gray scale. So no, not to go. No, no. And then ochre light. That will give you, you know, greens for distance. But as you can see, King's Blue is not the best to mix greens. Now, yellow permanent. This is the only, because it's a permanent yellow, you can King's Blue and lemon will give you nice green for foreground, warm. And again, you can add some of moderating colors. Okay, so this will give you at least something for King's Blue, and the last one is orange. This will give you one yellowish side. So as you can see, King's Blue is not something to mix the greens. All right, let's move to Service Blue. And I like this color a lot. Raw Sienna. This is the Permanent Yellow by Holbein. Love this color. Holbein is one of the best colors I have used so far. Okay, so Service Blue will give you very, very saturated, like very saturated. But But sometimes, okay, sometimes you need this kind of green. All right, let's keep going. Adobe. So as you can see, it's a very saturated green. And then yellow ochre. Yellow ochre. And yellow ochre light. Just to invite it. This is yellow ochre light. And I'm running out of space. This is permanent yellow. As you can see, very saturated. And then lemon will give us a killer. This is for like if you paint nocturnes and you have that luminance light. Look at that. And then the last one is orange. And this will give actually interesting blue. I mean green, sorry. Alright, so far, cerulean. Ooh, I'm afraid even to mix. Okay, so cerulean and yellow raw sienna is not giving us anything. I already know this, so I'm just trying to show you. It's giving us, because the bias, if you see this brownish color, so I would say no to this, so 2 no-nos. Let's see if we can pull from dope, anything from a dope. Yeah, I like this. It's more on, not on green, more on yellowish side, but there is some yellow cast. And then yellow ochre. This is yellow ochre. It's really nice olive, light olive color. And then yellow ochre light. More on the yellowish side than on the green side, but there's some cast of, and then this is traditional. This is how you mix all the greens right here. And this is more pleasing. So cerulean and purple yellow gives you a really nice green color. And then finally lemon, which will be the killer again. And you can see which one from yellow lemon, which one is you like. Going like that. And then orange is the last one. The orange will give you brown. I know already, so don't mix it. So this is no. This is no. This is no. And this is no. Okay? And now look at this. You take this and you take raw sienna, and you know this will be just the darkest warm color for the greens as underpainting. All right, so this is your underpainting. Now this yellow dough will give you, I just got too much of black. All right, if you can see, I hope you can see it. It gives you a really nice olive color. Really nice olive color. Okay, and then just a little bit of yellow ochre, and you're grabbing just a bit of black because it's so strong. Now look at this. This gives you a nice, more yellowish, but there is a green cast. Right? I love this. Look at that color. And I'm gonna do one more time. I think I do too much. Yes, let's do yellow ochre, light. Look at that. Ooh, beautiful color. Yeah, I know this is messing up, but we have this. Now look at what happened when we mix permanent yellow and black. We need a little bit more. Look at this green. Perfect. Oh, love it. Look at this olive color. Oh, I can eat it. Let me go to the kitchen and grab some bread. Look at that. And then same thing, just a little bit of black and lemon. And lemon that, look at this color, it's like really high hue. But when you mix it with black, it gives you really nice green. And you can add a little bit more. You know what, let me actually get a strip of canvas and we can mix one more time. And then with orange, let's give you a really nice brown. But I use a lot of this mix for underpainting for the greens, just to warm up. All right, so this is your chart, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually clean this and put a strip of canvas, and I'm gonna mix this colors and black. So let me clean this. I hope it's gonna stick for right now. Alright, so if we take black and we mix it with we know this will give us very dark, as you can see, very dark color, which is good to use as underpainting. Alright, so if you use a little bit of black and yellow ochre, this will give us really nice green cast. It's like dirty green. Well, there's a green cast, definitely. If you take a little bit of black and see how much I take black and how much I take yellow ochre. A little bit of black and yellow ochre white. You can see that green cast. You need a little bit more. Okay, and now permanent yellow. And see, see the proportion. Just a little bit of black, and then the yellow, and then it'll give you really nice. So this is what I'm mixing lately a lot. Black and look at that green. Beautiful, beautiful green. It's muted, it's not screaming. And then I think this is just too much. Even yellow lemon gives you a really nice, look at that, really nice green. Look at that. And even orange with the black. And I use this for same as this color for underpainting for greens. So green on top of this will be looking, so it's a brown. Yeah, it's not green, but it's a nice underground for yellow for the greens. So now we know. So this is, it's not the green because it's not giving you green. This is not. This is just the, I'll put this a little bit of greenish cast, and this is not the green. But there's three colors that give you really nice underpainting color. So this is how you mix green, and instead of adding some blue and yellow to your palette, I would recommend doing this. Yes, you will use a lot of strips of canvases or use canvas pads, but do color charts. They will help you a lot. I spent a lot of times in my studio doing color charts, just mixing colors just to get, because when I'm on plein air painting, I didn't have a time to mix and get upset because I just grab from a color. I have to scrape it and start mixing mud. Color charts is a must. It's a must. So do this kind of strips, canvas strips, or you can get like pad, and I would recommend maybe twice a week do color chart with different colors, so you will see what colors you can mix, what colors you cannot mix. Okay, so this is how you do it. That's a nice, I like this green, I like this and this green, so I can mark in my mind or in my palette that these colors I can use to mix my greens. And when you're painting on plein air or in studio, you don't have to think twice. You just this and this will give you greens that you needed. All right, so that will be all. No, it's not going to be all for today. I forgot to mention that when you're mixing these colors, you have another 2 or 3 colors that you can add to modulate the colors, and especially purple, red and purple. So when you're mixing, so those 2 colors, So when you're mixing greens, and let me show where we have something. So this is a red. And another thing, I spoke with several of my students, and I told them you have to mix, you have to work on color charts. And they told me, oh, this is a waste of colors, waste of paint. I mean, because color charts, like, I'm wasting material. It's very expensive material. Oh, guess what? If you're not doing color charting because you think you're wasting a tube of paint, you're wasting your time. Bottom line, you're wasting your time because the time is not going to pay off from, if you're using color charts or mixing color charts, because that will pay off. If you're not doing this, then you're going to waste a lot of time mixing mud. All right, so those two colors. And when you're mixing yellow, let's grab something like this and lemon, let's say, and we mix its vibrant green, right? Vibrant green. The purple is my moderated. So I can get a little bit of purple and add to my green, and it's going to remove the hue. It's going to settle the hue. Now this purple is really weak. It's by Blick, and it's really weak color. So, but I can just grab, yeah, see that? How much it's removed actual hue. Luminance. Look, it's still the green, same green, but it just went down big time because you're using this. And red is when you're more on yellow. Let's say, let me bring it back again. I hope you can see it. You add a little bit of red. See this? It's just removing that hue right away. But don't overdo it because you will get a kind of muddy color. This is a group of yellow, and you can extend this group of yellow whatever you want. There's so many yellow. For example, I have Michael Harding called Yellow Lake, which is I really like. It's very expensive, but if you mix it with let's mix it with cobalt. Let's say right here, big pile will give you really saturated green. Look at this, very saturated green. And again, you can modulate it by adding purple and dull it down. Look at it. Wow, went down right away. And this color you can use. So this is how you modulate, I guess, change it. So my bottom line, my point is, my spiel in all this episode is how to mix your greens with blues and yellows. It's not necessarily only cobalt blue or UB, ultraviolet blue, and yellow, like permanent yellow and caddy yellow. So it could be any other colors. It depends on what shade of. Sorry for this, mess. I was trying to show you how I'm mixing and what I'm getting instead of mixing down. But this is what you get, and sometimes you mix some colors together like this, and you will get this beautiful color. Look at that. Right? And you need to get something more warm. You can get this color, right? And if you need to put a distance, you just grab some glue and white, and here's a distant green. right here. It's more on already on bluish side because I just mixed too much. But you can mix all together. I'll give you whatever colors. My point is, spend more time on, you know, on your palette and on canvas like this, or strip off. You know, I have strips. You know, this is when I do my canvases, stretch canvases, and I have some extra, you know, strips of canvases. I'm saving, and then I'll do all my color charts on this. So my spiel and my message is, don't spend more time on palette, especially at the beginning. Spend more time on your palette, mixing colors, knowing your colors before you jump on actual painting and start painting. This is what you will learn in any school, any you know, art school, academies. You need to know how to mix colors. Bottom line. So get yourself you know, roll of canvas, cut it, buy, you know, set of tubes, different tubes, and start mixing, knowing your colors, what do you need. So when you look in the painting, when you're working in the painting, and you know exactly what color do you want to put on that painting, you know what to mix, and not just mixing and frustrating because you cannot get right colors. And finally, which happening a lot, was I see in my students, when they mix and they cannot get the right colors, they just gave up and just grab the colors that they kind of, you know, close to what they what they want, and they just apply to you know, to the canvas, and they moving on. And it's wrong. You want to apply the colors that you 100% satisfy. My mind is reading, this is exactly what I want. This is the color I want, because we are, you know, if you are in this business, I mean, not the business, but learning oil painting, we are colorists. Well, because otherwise I can grab black and white and do painting in grayscale, right, in mono scale. But since we're using a lot of colors on our palette, we are colorists. So if you're colorist and you don't know how to mix colors and what color will give you, then you're not a colorist. So, you know, so you need to pass this. You need to learn it to make sure this is solid, and then you can move on, you know, painting the paintings, work on the painting. So basically, painting is a knowledge of how to mix the colors, right? And then knowledge of how to draw, and then fusion of those two, which will give you the, you know, maybe this, you know, the brush work, the palette knife work, and small addition. And that fusion will give you that artistic, kind of artistic license to paint. Can I say that? Probably. All right. So my spiel is, spend time on mixing the colors, colors, and knowing your color. By the way, you're gonna tell me probably you're gonna waste all this, you know, you're gonna waste this canvas. No, I'm not going to waste it. I'm gonna remove black because the black is gonna kill me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use my medium 2, which is varnish and Gamsol, and I'm going to prime this with the colors. And this will be my even though it will be green, but that's okay. I can paint some painting with some greens on it. And it really doesn't matter what I have under, like this red is gonna mix with brown, more brownish color. But I can reuse it. Okay, and then this one step. This is step number 1. I'm gonna take my palette. I just move around. And what this does, oops, I want this on my, this is my sender to send the canvases. But you can see this is excess of paint, and I'm gonna pick it up. And what it does is actually, because it's a cotton, this is cotton canvas, it has a lot of that surface structure. I want to make sure the paint is getting inside. Because I like slick surface. So this is step number 2. And step number 3, we'll just do this. Just to wipe it. And I'm going to wipe it even more to the point I can see my paper towel strokes. Something like this. So it's not even. So I'm wiping canvas at the same time I'm making some texture. All right, that will be all for today. How to do a color chart, but I would recommend making canvas like a sheet and making name of the colors on the top, on your left, or on the right. Depends what direction you're going, and then save it, because that could be your color book. So you don't have to buy some color books, charts, but this is something that you experience, and this is in your brain, in your memory. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you would like to have next. So I have some schedule what will be next, like how to prepare it for plein air competitions, how to if you are at the beginning, how to, what colors what paint to buy, what brushes to buy as a beginning. I was working on and actually finishing the courses on this, but courses will be more extended, like more information. This I will try to get into 30 minutes or 30-40 minutes, some educational stuff. All right, so subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, but for my subscribers, thank you very much. And don't forget to stop by if I'm in your area in the plein air competitions. Please stop by and we can meet and talk and chat. All right, so see you next time.
Here we go.